Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to my first Ask Me Anything episode, also known as Q&A. So, let's start. Right guys, before we start, I just want to say a huge thank you to all you guys because I got such a great feedback, so many great questions, and today I will answer some of them. I cannot answer all of them because this episode will last really long. So, let's start with the first question. Are you married and do you live off YouTube? Well, I'm not married and I'm not living out of the YouTube income completely. YouTube income is part of my monthly income and I'm working for some commercial projects for clients directly, etc. So who knows, maybe one day YouTube can become my full-time job and I will live out of that. We will see. I'm very grateful for your work. You are explaining everything very well that someone who has no idea of Photoshop nevertheless can comprehend it. But how do you earn your money? Are these videos profitable? Because it looks like much work. Sorry for my bad English, I'm German. Don't worry, my friend, my English is not perfect at all, so everything is okay. How do I earn my money? I already answered that in previous questions, so I work a lot for other clients, and of course YouTube is a part of my income, monthly income. And yes, these videos are profitable because on YouTube you can earn some money from commercials that are displayed on your videos. So all commercials that you see on my video, by that I'm earning really small amount of money per view. All right, let's go to another question. Do you know the program Illustrator as well? If not, why not? And if yes, will you make tutorial for it as well? Yes, of course, I know the Illustrator. I don't know it as good as Photoshop. And that's because I don't use it so often, because my work is basically based on photography and retouching, and Illustrator is something that I really rarely use, so I will not make a tutorial about that. What is your favorite Photoshop tool? That's a great question. My favorite Photoshop tool maybe is the adjustment layer curves. I love adjustment layers because they are non-destructive to work with your images, and curves is so powerful tool in Photoshop. I have a whole tutorial dedicated about the curves. You can watch it right here, because with the curves you can basically almost do anything in Photoshop. You can retouch whole images just using the curves. Right, let's go to another. Hello, I'd like to know where you find those awesome images to use as a base in your tutorial videos. Example, the masked guy in a black in the lightning effect video. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, a lot of images that I use in my tutorials, I pick them from pexel.com. It's a great website. Go there. A lot of free stock images. So that's one source. Another source is my own studio, my own images. That black guy that I use in a lightning episode, it's basically myself. I make self-portrait and give you guys as image for tutorial. I like to, because I'm a photographer, I like to take my own images too. What have you studied if you went to university, college or higher education? Also, I wanted to ask if you would ever do a collaboration with any other YouTuber, and if so, what subscriber goal they need to be at. Yes, I went to university and I studied graphical design. And about the collaboration, why not? I'm open for that. And subscriber goal they need it to be that's really not important thing, because there are a lot of YouTubers with really low amount of subscribers that are really good in their work. So what is the most important here is to be good in your work, because you need to give some value to your viewers, to your subscribers. So if anybody wants to collaborate with me, they need to be really good in their niche. So they need to give some value to you guys, to the viewers. Right? How old are you? And why don't you upload some tutorial video about video editing like Premiere Pro and After Effects? I'm 38 years old right now, and unfortunately I don't have time for those tutorials for Premiere Pro and After Effects, because I'm working a lot, have a lot of other projects to do in a week, not just YouTube tutorials about Photoshop. And for now it will be just Photoshop, and maybe in the future a little bit more about photography, but this is how the things are set for now. Hello Nemanja, I have several questions, but the two I most want to ask is why and how did you choose YouTube for your platform, and how long have you been studying magic? Well, Robert, I choose YouTube because it was no brainer for me at all. YouTube is the biggest platform for videos, so that's obvious choice. And how long did I study magic? Well, magic is just my hobby. I'm not so good in magic, and that's just to show my friends to have fun with that, and so on and so forth. Basically, I learned my first magic trick when I was 7 years old, and everything started from there. Right, how difficult is to make a photo manipulation? Well, that depends of the complexity of the photo manipulation. You can make a photo manipulation in a few hours, maybe a few days, few weeks, depends if you are implementing a 3D into your photo manipulation. Do you need to go outside to wait for some specific weather, to make photos for your composite, etc. So really, guys, depends of the complexity of your work. What is your job, and are there any good career we can get by learning graphic design? Well, I am a photographer, graphic designer, and educator, and basically my job is to have a lot of fun. Actually, guys, I am working on a lot of commercial projects for a client, so that's my job, and to teach other people how to be good in Photoshop and photography. And yes, you can get a good career by learning graphic design. You just need to find your niche there. So what are you most interested in it, and to practice a lot to be good in it. And after that, there are a variety of jobs that you can find with that. I just started my YouTube channel. Any advice on how to get out there? And by that I mean like grow in subs and views. I know you can't grow in a week and it takes years of work, but I want to know better ways to share my channel. Well, there is no secret for that. You just need to be consistent in posting, and you just need to make sure that your work has some values for your subscribers. So make sure to do that, and ask your friends to share your channel and your videos on Facebook, for example, or Instagram, and so on. Okay, let's go to the next question. Were you a self-taught graphic designer, or did you attend a design school? Well, that's a great question. Well, it's a both. I first started by studying electrical engineering, and in the same time I started with Photoshop, with retouching, and later I got into photography. And then I realized that I'm more into that Photoshop photography thing that I was in electrical engineering, and I quit electrical engineering. And I taught everything that I know today. I learned everything by myself. And later, when I was 30 years old, I went to university again and studied and finished graphic design. Knowing that we spend several hours in front of the computer to master our skills and become better in what we do, we definitely don't want to spend our whole life seated 24/7. And you definitely don't want to do that, because that's not good for your health, for your social life, etc. What we see that your whole life is part of your work, so how did you start this path and how you work today? Is there a way to make our work more dynamic? Well, that's a really good question. I already answered how I started 20 years ago when I got my first Photoshop, and then after that I started with the photography, and everything just came together. And today my work is a little bit different. I actually don't have impression that I'm working. It's more like I'm playing with the stuff. I have a hobby instead of a job. So I really love my work. I'm really passionate about it, and it's really good to do this kind of job. And yes, I am still spending a lot of hours per day sitting in front of the computer, because that's the job. But of course you can go outside, and actually you need to go outside. You don't want to work all the time, because when you're overwhelmed with the work, you will not be so productive and so creative. So you need to go and do something completely different. But if you want to be a little bit more dynamic in your work, you can, for example, go outside, sit on a bench, and just watch the nature, see how the light is behaving, shadows, reflections, etc. So you can later implement that in your work, or just go and do something completely different. It's up to you. It's personal thing. So I'm spending my time out of the studio making some great photos for my future composites, or just by relaxing, or hanging out with friends, playing a guitar, etc. So anything that makes you happy. How long one should sit on computer and practice Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, etc. Since I often see on YouTube how someone took 34 hours to gradient match realistic photo, etc. like that. Right, I already answered that in the previous question, but yes, some photos you need to spend a lot of time making a photo. For example, well, I can make a photo finish for a day, but some photos takes even a week. So that depends. Don't be that guy who wants to make photo in 10 minutes and to show their friends. No, take your time, relax, enjoy the work, enjoy the path, and then you will enjoy even more the results. Hi, since we can ask personal questions, I have two for you. We can see that you're in a good physical shape, so what sports do you practice on a regular basis, and how old are you? I already answered the age. I'm 30 years old and I'm practicing gymnastics 3 times per week. I'm going in the gym and just do some acrobatic stuff, some strength exercise, etc. Please make a tutorial on how to composite multiple images and give us some tips for this on Q&A. Well, I already have really nice and short video on some tips, 3 important photo manipulation tips, so you can go and watch it right here. Let's see, another one. Have you ever did something for top branded companies like drawing ads for Nissan or Google, etc.? Well, for really big companies, no, but for big companies, yes. I did a commercial for a.k.a. I did a lot of commercial for banks, for beers, for coffees, etc. So there is a list. But I would love to do commercials for Apple, Google, and really big companies. Who knows? Maybe one day I will do that too. Is it better to have a portfolio online or in a physical form? Well, it's good to have both because some clients want to see physical form portfolio. They are used to see that kind of portfolio. Some clients want to see them on an iPad, on a computer screen. Or if you want to send the client your portfolio, you need to have in a digital form to send it or to send the clients to your website, etc. So it's really nice to have both of them. How did you decide that this is a job for you? And can you achieve something if you're not so good painter, artist, not sure about the word? Can it be done with hard work and less talent? Well, I just started playing with Photoshop and just felt that connection. I just felt that this is the job for me, and I started like that, and for years and years practicing, I got better and better, and that's it. And yes, you can be a good artist, painter, whatever, if you practice a lot. The practice is the key for success. So just be consistent and practice. And most important thing is that you need to love what are you doing. If you don't love that, you will never be so good. So you need to love that, you need to be passionate about that, and you will eventually be really good. Who would you pick, Eva Mendes or Charlize Theron? Well, probably Eva Mendes. Your favorite movie? Well, that's a good one. My favorite movie, I love science fiction movies, and maybe I have a lot of favorite movies actually, but maybe my favorite movie is Star Wars. Star Wars episode 4, 5, and 6. What inspired you to start the tutorials? That's a good one. Actually, my friends and you guys inspired me to do that because you asked me all the time how to do this and how to do that, and eventually I decided to make a YouTube channel and to teach you guys to be better in Photoshop and photography. And before I started the YouTube channel, I actually did a few workshops, 1 day, 2 day workshops where I teach people how to make a preparation for photo manipulations, photo shooting, and then retouching, make a final product. So that's one thing that I'm doing too. So if anybody is interested in a full day workshop or 2 days workshop, you can contact me and we can maybe arrange something. Hello Nemanja, what's your favorite book? That's a good one. My favorite book. Actually, guys, I like to read a lot, so I love science fiction books as movies too. So maybe one of my favorite books is The Expanse, the series Expanse, and that's something that I recently read, so it's really good. What motivates you to work consistently? Well, that's a good one. I really love the reaction of other people seeing my work, and I really enjoy their smiley faces when they see some fun and interesting photo manipulation of mine. And that's more than enough motivation for me to be consistent and to make even more photo manipulations. And that's a wrap for today. I'm finished answering the questions. Thank you guys one more time for such a great feedback, such a great questions, and I really hope that you like this first Ask Me Anything series, also known as Q&A. So have fun and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.